For the past few months, I hit rock bottom. I was sleeping past 3 a.m., waking up at 3 p.m., have no zero energy and gooning and rotting all day and just pretty much feel like I'm a failure. And it definitely also doesn't help that I'm also unemployed. And every time I try to get my life back together, I just go back to my old habits a few days later. You're probably very familiar with this cycle and you're probably in one right now. You realize you need to get your life back together, you go all in for a couple days, but a few days later, you go back to where you started. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, you will not get anywhere in life and you'll be stuck forever feeling like a loser for the rest of your life. So by the end of this video, I'll show you how exactly you can get your life back together and finally be consistent and feel better about yourself again. But before we actually get into the steps, it's important to know this first step before actually doing anything, because this is going to help you set up your foundation. I personally call this the big three. Just like how we have the big three in basketball and how we have the big three in anime, to get your life together, there's also the big three. And the big three is sleep, diet, exercise. Wait. Before you go on and click off the video, because I know you've probably heard this advice on every Facebook and Reddit page, and it is also what ChatGPT will also probably tell you to do as well. But the truth is that the big three, sleep, diet, exercise, is a core stepping stone to get your life together. We often overlook sleep, diet, exercise because it's so cliche and sounds so much like basic advice. But the truth is that sleep, diet, and exercise is the most basic human need biologically. As a human, you need sleep to survive. As a human, you need proper nutrients to survive. And as a human, you need exercise to survive, or else you'll become a fat, musty Discord mod. When you have properly applied the big three into your life, you will just naturally feel better every day, and getting your life together just becomes much easier. I remember back in college, my program slapped me in the face with 6 intense courses in one semester. A lot of people were struggling really hard, but I was getting straight A's. People were curious on how I got such good grades and how I had my life together while they were pulling all-nighters all the time. I told them I didn't study 8 hours a day and the max I would study is 4 hours a day, which is not a lot. My secret is that almost every day I will work out for 2 hours, eat almost very clean, and get at least 9 hours of sleep. My mind and my body was so healthy and sharp that I was able to succeed in school so well. It also didn't affect me that I drank alcohol with my friends every weekend. I still have my life together because I really prioritized the big three. Sleep, diet, exercise is like the fuel for your car. You will need it to get it to drive and travel to places. It also makes the engine healthier and makes it run properly. Without any fuel, you just end up damaging your engine, just like how you're damaging your physical and mental health. So first of all, sleep. We often forget just how important sleep is for your body. When you're sleeping, your body is repairing itself, taking in what you've learned throughout the day, and without enough sleep, you get all kinds of problems, like lack of focus, low motivation, messed up hormones, raise your risk of high blood pressure, stroke, and heart disease. So, if you want health problems in the future, keep staying up 3 a.m. gooning and playing League of Legends. So, each day, you want to get at least 8 hours of sleep, and don't go on your phone 30 minutes before going to bed, because any bright light will make your brain think it's still morning and make you harder to fall asleep. Now, as for diet, this is pretty simple. Try to eat more whole foods and less processed foods. If you want a more in-depth guide about diet, check this video out I made. Now, as for exercise, you need to get at least 30 minutes of exercise per day. You need to at least move your body throughout your day. Moving your body helps blood flow to your brain, which makes you think clearly and stay mentally sharp. When you're prioritizing the big three, sleeping enough, eating right, and moving a lot, getting your life together and improving your life will just become much easier, since doing the big three will just leave you feeling better every day and give you more energy and more mental clarity. Now you know about the big three, it's time for the second part that will take you to the next level. The big three I just explained is the starting point. The next step to getting your life together is to set goals. But wait, before you click off the video again, because I know you've heard people talk about setting goals a million times, but one of the main reasons you click on this video is because you are not happy with where you are right now, and one of the main reasons is because you just haven't really achieved anything in life, and the only thing you've achieved in life is probably hitting 5,000 hours on Fortnite. You've just been drifting throughout life without a purpose. So that's why I tell you that you need to have some goals, because having goals will help you decide each day where your energy should be going towards. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, and you will know that every day you should be putting your energy towards exercising and eating healthy. Personally, my goal is to grow this YouTube channel, so every day I know that I should be sitting on my chair and making videos. In the past, my goals were to get straight A's in school, so each day I constantly find ways I can study better so I can get better grades. But just having goals isn't enough. you actually have to write them down, because what you don't realize is that you're more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down. A well-known study from the Dominican University found that people who just think of their goals are 43% likely to achieve it, but people who wrote down their goals had a 61% success. But people who wrote down their goals, made a plan, and shared their progress with a friend had a 76% chance of success. You're literally more likely to achieve your goal if you just simply write them down. So what I want you to do right now is to get a piece of paper and write 1 to 3 goals you have for the next 4 months. And what I personally like to do is every day when I wake up, I look at them and remind myself of this journey I am on. And I want you to do the same as well. By having clear goals, you're more clear on what you want to achieve, and with that, you're living each day with a clear sense of purpose, and you will have more drive to achieving your goals. Now the next step is to change your environment. You see, sometimes I still get distracted by my phone while trying to make YouTube videos or when I'm studying in the past. One game of Clash Royale eventually turns into 30 games, and 2 hours later I realized I just wasted on my phone raging instead of working towards my goals. This could also happen to you if you're trying to eat healthy. You open your cupboard and all you see are snacks and chips, and it just makes it harder for you to eat healthy, because you know you'll eventually give in to the temptation. Like if you place a beer in front of an alcoholic and tell him to not drink it, well, 99% of the time he's going to drink it. If you take away the beer, then he has no choice but to sit and cry and be sober. My point is that you want to change your environment so that it's easier for you to work towards your goals. You want to ultimately make it easier for what's good for you and harder to do things that are bad for you. For example, if you want to study more, put that down for in another room. If you want to exercise more, put your running shoes and dumbbells beside your bed. If you want to eat healthy, throw out any excess junk food you have. In the end, you want to make your living environment in a way that helps you achieve your goals even faster and easier. The next step is to do it your way. Now, this seems confusing at first, but let me explain, because this is very important. You see, everyone in this world is different. You and I have very different habits, traits, values, and experiences. You and I might or might not like bananas. You and I might or might hate running. You and I might have different ways to make ourselves happy. My point is that what works for other people might not work for you. For example, I could tell you that the secret to improving your life is to wake up every day at 5 AM and do 100 push-ups. But for some people, it's not going to work. Why? Because it just doesn't. Some people biologically might just feel more tired and drained after doing 100 push-ups, but some people might feel more energized. What's important is that you need to try different methods and see what works for you. What personally works for me is that I like to take 4 to 5 days of the week and put at least 6 hours of work to this YouTube channel, and those are my work days. And the rest of the week I like to relax and reset my brain and body. I find this approach the best because I actually have a social life, and hanging out with my friends makes me happy, so I don't go mentally insane. It's important to find what works for you because you don't want to be completely burnt out as well. You want this journey to be also somewhat enjoyable for yourself, because if you're treating like this one of those 90 days monk mode challenges, then you're most likely going to be back where you originally started. Because let's be honest, for most people, realistically, you are not going to wake up 5 AM every day, put your face in ice water, and run 10 miles every morning like Ashton Hall. If you can do that, good for you. But for most people who got other priorities, no. So you need to find what's the most suitable for you in the long run, because what's the point of doing something unsustainable for 90 days knowing damn well after those 90 days you're going to go back to where you started? So you need to play the long game and actually find what's sustainable for you in the long run, so you can actually stick to it for years down the line, so you don't go back to where you are now. So actually find out what's good for you. Try waking up early. Do you feel good or do you feel more tired after? Try making a routine. Does it help you or does it put more stress on you? Try to do a to-do list. Does it make you feel more organized or does it help you stress even more about your to-do list every minute of the day? Literally try everything and experiment and find what's the most sustainable for yourself, because at the end of the day, what's sustainable for other people may not be sustainable for you. And when you eventually find what's sustainable for you, then you're guaranteed to not fall back to how you were before. Now, this next final step is also very important, and it is to realize that not every day will be perfect. You see, there will be days where you feel unmotivated, there will be days where you wake up late, and there will be days where you just feel like doodle. And there will be days where you just play Clash Royale for 3 hours straight. But guess what? That's okay. You have to accept that not every day will be perfect. Some days I wake up and get out of bed at 2 PM, I scroll on TikTok for another hour, play Clash Royale for another hour, I feel like crap, and I don't feel like doing anything because I already feel like I wasted my day. But guess what? I still at least show and put in at least 1 to 2 hours of work on making my videos. What matters is that you are still consistent and you still put in some work regardless of how your day goes. This is where being disciplined comes in, and it's very important to be disciplined. I have a more detailed video about discipline if you want to go check that out. But the last thing you want to do is to beat yourself up for not having the perfect day. When you beat yourself up, you feel worse, and when you make yourself feel worse, you end up not feeling like doing anything. and you go back to square one. It's a cycle that we all go through. We get motivated to turn our life around, and we set expectations so high for ourselves that when we don't meet those expectations, we beat ourselves down to the ground and we feel like crap about ourselves, and we go back to how it was before. In order to end this cycle, you have to be kind to yourself for once. It's okay to not have the perfect day, because nothing is perfect in this world, and it's okay to slip up. Just make sure you get back on track and be consistent for the next following days. When you stop thinking every day needs to be so perfect, you actually stop forgiving yourself for messing up, and stop thinking so negatively about yourself. And when you start thinking a little bit more positive about yourself, you will start to feel better. And when you feel better, it's easier to be more consistent, and improving your life will just become much easier. By doing all of these steps, I can guarantee you that you will get your life together. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you. It's your choice if you want to change. I can really just only give you my advice. So, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna skip this video, forget everything that I said, and stay where you are for the rest of your life? Or are you actually going to take action and change your life around? The choice is yours. Anyways, I want you to comment down below your experience, and I also want to know what you're personally struggling with. I want to help as much of you guys as I possibly can. Anyways, subscribe if you learned something new.